back on all I've done, I hear the voices calling. Boy, did you get what you want, or do you feel you're haunted? Do you fly amongst the stars, or do you feel you falling? Wishing you could change it all, but it's so far.
Just bob your head, just bob your head.
It's so far.
Just bob your head.
3 months ago, Kobe Bryant retired from the NBA. Now another superstar, future Hall of Famer, has followed right behind him. He is Timothy Theodore Duncan, also known as TD, the Big Fundamental, Timmy. Yes, Tim Duncan finished his career after 19 seasons with the San Antonio Spurs. He had such a wonderful, lucky, blessing career with one lucky, underrated, non-boring franchise, since people like to consider the Spurs a boring franchise for whatever reason. A 5-time NBA champion, 1999, 2003, 2005, 2007, and 2014. 2-time MVP, 2002 and 2003. 15-time All-Star. A 3-time NBA Finals MVP, 1999, 2003, and 2005. I'm not surprised he retired, since this season he didn't look so hot, averaging 8.9 points in the regular season. Yikes. He pretty much disappeared in the playoffs as well. Then again, I thought maybe he would come back for one more season, with the team signing Pau Gasol and Manu Ginobili returning once again. But I guess he felt he couldn't contribute anymore. Plus, if he would have stayed with San Antonio, I think he would have become a role player off the bench for the 2016-2017 season. And I think they would have started LaMarcus Aldridge and Pau Gasol in the front court. So it looks like he would have gotten worse. I mean, he did say as long as he can contribute to the team, he don't see why he retired. But that was a whole different story this season. He's also the greatest Spurs player of all time. The number 2 greatest Spurs player of all time is obviously David Robinson. Can't mess with the Admiral. Arguably one of the greatest power forwards of all time, since there are debates about Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Karl Malone, and Charles Barkley being considered the greatest of all time. I mean, I know obviously people don't consider Dirk Nowitzki the greatest of all time, because that guy is nowhere near better than Duncan, Garnett, and Karl Malone. Hell, I don't even think he's better than Charles Barkley. Some say he's more of a center, easily top 10 player of all time. Some say Tim Duncan is in the top 5. I personally don't know about that. It's kind of hard when it comes to Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, etc. But I know one thing, there will never be another Tim Duncan. The guy is so humble, quiet, down to earth, class act. Duncan has never missed the playoffs during his entire career, although he missed the 2000 playoffs due to an injury as the Spurs lost to the Suns in the first round. See, luckiest player to never miss the playoffs. Impressive. Heck, Shaquille O'Neal only missed the playoffs twice in his career, his rookie season and the 08-09 season with the Suns. Let's give it up for Tim Duncan. And people need to stop calling the Spurs a boring team or considering him a boring player. Show some respect. Really? I know people enjoy flashy dunks, flashy passes, etc. But the Spurs play like the Spurs. It is what it is. Tim Duncan is Tim Duncan. He's quiet. He does not care for the attention, as he retired quietly, so no retirement tour like Kobe had. Kobe lives for the attention since he deserved it due to how his career was winding down. That's good that Tim Duncan doesn't care for the attention. There are people who don't care for the attention. They don't want to be like Tupac. All eyes on me. They don't want it, and that's perfectly fine. I bet people would choose Kobe to have a better legacy because Duncan is a more quiet, never showed off his muscles or yelled when celebrating. He was pretty much a quiet assassin. Listen, both of their careers will be respected regardless. So why even choose? Who gives a crap? Anyways, NBA 2K16 was not only Kobe's last appearance on the video game, but also Tim Duncan's last appearance as well. Since they're not going to be on NBA 2K17, well, I guess Kobe will, since Kobe's on that NBA 2K17 cover. So, I mean, he deserved it since he just retired. So that's a whole nother story. They're both going to the Hall of Fame in the next 6 years, like 2022. Why do players got to wait till like another 6 years to go into the Hall of Fame? How about just put them in the Hall of Fame as soon as they retire? No. Why 6 years? I don't get that. Screw that crap. I thought Tim Duncan would end up with 6 rings like Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but at least he has 5. I heard there'll be some quiet press conference today with Greg Popovich talking about Duncan, but Duncan himself will not be there. See, that's how quiet he is. I think the Spurs organization should think about making a statue for Tim Duncan and David Robinson, 2 statues of the Twin Towers together. Oh, and also Tim Duncan also was a NBA All-Star MVP back in 2000, with him and Shaquille O'Neal sharing the MVP, All-Star MVP in 2000, which I thought was well-deserved. That's like also in the same season, Elton Brand and Steve Francis won co-Rookie of the Year. Good luck to Tim Duncan for what he does next after retirement. Man, it's going to be weird not having Kobe in the NBA anymore. It's definitely going to be weird not seeing Tim Duncan, especially for the Spurs fans. You know, Spurs fans used to, going to see Tim Duncan. I'm telling you, man, these players that was drafted back in the 90s, man, they starting to disappear. Shoot, who we got left? Dirk Nowitzki, Vince Carter, Paul Pierce are still around. Can't forget about Kevin Garnett. He about to enter his 22nd NBA season. Impressive. Jermaine O'Neal, he's still around. He's just a free agent. He hasn't played in a while. And Ray Allen's still around. He's just still a free agent too. I heard him talking about possibly joining the Cavs, the Warriors, or the Spurs. I'm not surprised he said Cavs Warriors since him and LeBron play together in Miami, and the Warriors because of Kevin Durant now with the team. It's like, Ray Allen, come on, man. You got 2 rings. You don't need any more. You're good. How about you just go to the Spurs and call it a day? And for the people out there calling Tim Duncan and the Spurs boring, they're not boring. You're boring for saying that they're boring. How about that? Just give Tim Duncan and the Spurs their props. Give them their respect that they deserve. It's like, accept Tim Duncan for who he is. I got your back, Tim Duncan. I got your back for all these people getting on you and the Spurs, man. As for the Spurs next season, they'll be a playoff team, but I don't know if they'll get past the Warriors. So, I don't know. We'll see. And speaking of the Warriors, man, they don't have a bench. Wasting all that money getting Kevin Durant. They don't have no bench. Harrison Barnes is gone, and Andrew Bogut. Those 2 are with the Mavericks. Leandro Barbosa went back to the Phoenix Suns for like the 3rd flipping time. Jeez, OP. Well, at least he's back with the team where he started his career and had his best years. Leandro Barbosa by far had his best years in Phoenix, especially since he won 6th Man of the Year. And Space, he signed with the Warriors rivalry team, the Los Angeles Clippers, and Exio is with the Blazers. They got to get a bench. Yeah, they're not looking high with their bench, man. All right, see you later.
Mixtape Messiah.
Hard on the yard for ya. I hear you little niggas going hard for ya. Talk to God for ya, hope he send you home soon. 3 strikes come once every blue moon.